Unfortunately, Chairperson for South Africa, the Honourable Minister of Labour is running a series of protection rackets which are helping derail our economy. Let me explain. Protection racket number one, the Nedlac corruption case. This morning I've tabled the Nedlac corruption report with the Public Protector and asked her to investigate the lack of action by the Minister of Labour in this regard. The Minister refuses to institute a disciplinary inquiry into the conduct of Mr. Mkhize, even though she has been given the forensic report years ago into the corruption under his watch. Instead of suspending Mr. Mkhize, she promoted him as her special advisor at an increased salary. After he used the Nedlac credit cards to buy himself computer games, nappies, business class tickets for his wife, clothes from the Ferrari shop, services and tyres for his wife's car, and more, to the value, according to the report, of R1,512,649.17. The DA has brought this attention to the Parliamentary Labour Committee, chaired by Mrs. Yengeni, or Ms. Yengeni, as you've just heard before me, and she appears to be in on the deal because she's point-blank refused to have the Minister ever come to Parliament to answer questions on this corruption report. It is significant that the case was also reported to the police in Rosebank, Johannesburg, case number 123/1/2015, and there has been no action by the police on this case either. The SAPs involved the Hawks in this case, and the investigation has gone as dead as the ANC's moral compass. Protection racket number two, the Sepwawu case has become legendary. The Minister never interfered with the work of the Registrar of Labour Relations before now. When unions from Fedusa, Naktu or others were taken to court by the Registrar, the Minister was as quiet as a mouse, quite happily to let the Registrar do his job. However, as soon as the corruption is exposed implicating the leadership of Sepwawu, aka Kusatu, the Minister suddenly breaks all the rules to protect another racket. The Registrar asked the court to intervene in the Sepwawu case as his job requires. The Sepwawu had broken all of the regulations, including not submitting their financial statements. Suddenly, at a Kusatu special CEC meeting on the 26th of May 2015, Kusatu decided they will get rid of the Registrar. Let me quote from their actual minutes. By the next CEC, both the Registrar and Kalipi should not be where they are. If the Minister is in charge, she must show us she is in charge by treating us as the alliance partner. There is nothing also to stop an approach directly to the Minister of Labour to withdraw Mkalipi. He and the Registrar must be dealt with. After a quick meeting in Geneva, the ever-compliant Minister then suspends the Registrar, in the words of the court, without applying her mind. But we are not surprised. If one considers the Free Market Foundation case on extending collective bargaining agreements, one realizes that the Minister actually went to court, in that case, asking the court not to allow her to apply her mind. The protection racket number three, the case of the mysterious Workers' Association Union.
Honourable Ollis, there is a point of order.
The member is being mischievous, Chair, because he knows that what he's talking about is in the court, so it's sub judice. He can't stand here and go into details on a matter that is sub judice. Fair, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Ollis. If the matter indeed is in front of the courts, maybe we should not deal with it in the detail in which we have.
To my knowledge, this particular matter is not before the court, but I will leave it there and I will move on in my speech if that's okay with you. Protection racket number three, the Workers' Association Union, or WOW. Fully aware of the fact that Kusatu is falling apart, apparently number one has decided to form a new trade union, according to media reports, to covertly arrange the funding himself. The only problem, of course, is that this union, the Workers' Association Union, or WOW, does not comply with the legislation on trade union formation. Their application, I have it here, has been turned down 3 times on July the 16th, 2013, 9th of October 2013, and 24th of February 2014, respectively. They were refused due to, among other matters, their office bearers are not even members of the union. Today, the DA can reveal that the President himself interfered in the independence of the Registrar of Labour Relations also. The Minister summoned departmental officials to Cape Town and issued instructions to immediately register WOW, even though they do not comply with the legal requirements for a union because, and I quote, number one wants it done. Next morning, hey presto, the Workers' Association union gets their rubber stamp and are duly registered as a functional trade union, no matter what the law says about it. Now that's wow. Let's not forget that this union will in future trade minister with workers' money while being controlled remotely by secret hands. But the ANC are failing on jobs too. Let me give you the lowlights. The quarterly labour force survey showed this week that unemployment increased to a record high of 8.9 million South African people now unemployed under the ANC. A staggering 355,000 people lost their jobs in 3 months. The 16th Annual Employment Equity Report is another disaster for the ANC propaganda machine, but there's a lie in the story that you hear from the ANC. We were told there's been no progress on employment equity in the past year. Well, let me expose that lie. If you look at page 78 of the 16th CEE report, it tells us, for the very first time in our history, black South Africans at the professionally qualified level outnumber their white colleagues this year. Progress is being made. In the report, it states it. The ANC tells these lies because, of course, it's an election year and they want to pit black South Africans against white ones because they love racially dividing. However, top management and senior management and people with disabilities do show no change from last year's figures. This is another colossal ANC failure because the ANC form of BE is just not working. The minister thinks that a 6-month warning to business before punishments that are severe is going to fix it. That's like beating a horse that won't cross a dangerous ravine on a rickety plank. Minister, you have to fix the plank. Let me give you the DA perspective on fixing this. Number one, you have to grow the economy if you want to fix employment equity. Number two, fix the legislation to make it easier for companies to change, like those lovely visa regulations that you needed to fix earlier. The legislation bridge, including the BEE codes, need to be fixed and you'll get better results. And finally,
Honourable Ollis, your time is up.
Final sentence, grow the black skills pipeline. That
Madam
means
Chair.
education.
Order.
Thank you.